Hello and welcome to Open Micotomy. Today I'm going to be discussing 10 things that you should be doing as a stand-up comedian. Stick around. What's up everybody? Alright, today we're going to be talking about 10 miscellaneous things that I think are important for every stand-up comedian to be doing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Number 1, I think that this is one of the more important things. You need to be going to other people's shows. If people are putting on shows, you need to be going there, not only because A, it's polite, but B, if you want to get seen, you need to go places that you're going to be seen. If you're showing up at open mics, yeah, people are going to notice you there, but if you're going to show up to somebody's show, they're going to A, appreciate it, and B, they're going to remember that you were there. So if you're kind of a new face in the scene and you want people to recognize you a little bit more, go to their shows. They're going to appreciate it. You're going to have a good time. Everyone wins in this situation. You need to be going to other people's shows, 100%. Pretty much no excuses. If you have a free night, usually happens on the weekends. If you have a free weekend and there is a show going on, you need to be going. Obviously right now, side note, obviously not right now, but when things kind of come back up, if you can go to a show, you need to be going to shows. Number 2, at open mics and just in general, you need to be quiet in the audience. It's super obvious that you need to make sure that the person on stage is getting attention and you're not being an a-hole in the audience. You're not playing around on your phone, making a bunch of noise. You're not talking with your buddies. You're not doing a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be super annoying. There are going to be some environments where the bar is going to be next to the stage in kind of a similar environment. I don't know what this is. If you're off in the corner trying to talk quietly, maybe it's not going to come up. But if you were in the bar area and somebody starts chatting you up, either take it outside or just be like, hey, so-and-so's on stage. Let's keep it down a little bit. It's more polite. It's gonna keep the other person from feeling like everybody's talking, because trust me, it happens a lot. You get used to it, but if you can, just try to avoid talking when you're not on stage. Or if you can, go out to the smoker circle. I promise there's usually gonna be one. I've never been to a mic that didn't have some kind of smoker circle outside. It's important. It's a good little spot to hang out. Which brings me to step number 3. This is a little bit of a side note. Sharing is caring. If you don't know what that means, you don't need to know, and if you do know, I don't need to explain it. So sharing is caring goes a long way. Just a quick little pro tip. Number 4, if you want people to learn your name, you need to be learning their name. If you know somebody's name and you call them out by their name, they're either A, going to act like they don't know it and then learn it later so that they feel less awkward, or B, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know you, by your name. Let's, you'll like reintroduce yourself a little bit maybe. Or, again, they're gonna go learn it, so that way the next time you say, oh hey, so-and-so, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, what up, yeah. It helps. Also, again, one of my personal pro tips, call somebody by their first and last name every time you see them. I do this to this day with people that I know, where, some of my buddies will walk in and I'll be like, oh, John Smith, just simple. Like, it gets their attention, it's a quick little thing that, they can go about their business, it doesn't completely make them want, you're not just immediately getting their attention. It just kind of is it's a little acknowledgement. It's just saying, hey, I see you, what's up? And then they can either come talk to you if they want to, or they can, wave, move on. There's no obligation. It's a good little tip. It's extremely useful. And also, it's going to make you put a name to a face, and you're gonna remember their names, and the more names that you learn, the more people are gonna get to know you. And as I think I've said this in a few other videos, friends are an invaluable resource in stand-up comedy, so if you learn more names are gonna learn yours. Number 5, when it comes to asking for advice, you need to listen to the advice of people who've been doing it longer than you have, and you need to be asking advice from people who've been doing it the same amount as you have. The reason I say this is because people who've been doing comedy as long as you have are going to be going through a lot of the same struggles and a lot of the same kind of hiccups. People who've been doing it longer are at a different stage, and while they have also gone through the same things, they're not going to be on that same page, and it's a little bit more difficult to try to put yourself in the mindset of somebody who's at a certain different point than you are. So, it can go as simple as far back as, right, I've been doing comedy for about 3 or 4 years. I honestly kind of lost track, but I don't remember what it was like being a one-year comic. Like, I vaguely do, but I don't have like an exact peg, so I can't be like, oh, you're at this exact point, so you need to be doing X, Y, Z. I don't remember how to do that. I only know how to move forward. And that's kind of where I'm going, is you ask people at your certain level because you're working at the same level. People above you are going to be talking about different things. If you're talking comedy, of course, who knows if you're there, but if you're talking comedy, people above you are going to be talking about their steps. So listen to the people above you for further advice and discuss advice with people who are at your level. Number 6, you need to be hanging out. Comedy's fun. It's supposed to be fun, and you need to be going out and about with other comedians and having fun after shows and after mics and just being out and about. You need to be present. You need to be part of the scene that you're entering. You can't just show up to mics and then go home and then come back to the next mic and just keep doing that. Yeah, you can, but if you really want to enjoy doing stand-up comedy, enjoy it. You go out and hang out with these people, even if you don't know them. Get to know them. Comics are friendly. Everyone likes a good hang. You hang out at a bar, you hang out at a coffee shop for just a little bit after. Conversate. That's not a real word, but just hang out afterwards. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. I've never regretted hanging around afterwards if I had the time. Sometimes it gets a bit late, but there have been conversations that I've had at 1 a.m. with a comic on a Wednesday that I value those. Those are the type of conversations that kind of have led me to have some of the best friends that I've ever made in my entire life. So stick around after mics and shows. Trust me, that's where a lot of the fun happens. The shows are fun within themselves, but then afterwards, it's just as much fun. It's an entirely new thing. 100% stick around. Number 7, this is a personal piece that I don't know exactly is well accepted, but I personally think that it helped a lot, and that was finding a rival within my scene. And I don't mean make an enemy, I mean find a rival. A rival doesn't have to be somebody who you actively dislike or anything like that. A rival is somebody that, at least in my opinion, in this specific case, is somebody who's around your level. I usually shot for somebody who was maybe a year ahead of me, and I just made it my goal to work harder than them, to be better than them. Not in like a super annoying way, but if I saw them do really good that night, I'm like, I have to do better than them. Like, just to get in this mindset of I need to be improving constantly, otherwise this person is gonna beat me. I'm not really a competitive person, but when it came to comedy, I decided that I needed to be super duper focused and super duper good. And the only way that I was gonna make myself be better was to find somebody who was doing better than me. Number 8, embrace what makes you weird. Find the thing that you really find yourself being passionate about and stick to it. Everyone has their own jam, everyone has their own taste, everyone has their own thing. You need to find that. You need to find the thing that makes you unique as a comedian, and not necessarily your voice or anything, but just find the things that make you you. I know that's kind of a broad statement, but I'm a big old weirdo, and instead of hiding from it or trying to downplay how weird I am, I fully accepted it, and it helped me so much. I have material that no one else can talk about because I talk about things that only I know about or things that I experience. If you reject the things that you think that nobody cares about, or you don't want to talk about your weird hobbies, or you talk about some super niche thing that you think you know about that no one else cares about, talk about it. Talk about the things that you know about. And if you don't think that you have anything, get in your head, get inside and think about these things. You're a comedian. You need to be bringing something unique to the stage. If you don't think that you have anything special, find it. Really, you do need to find your special thing. Otherwise, what are you doing up there other than just writing jokes? I mean, if you want to just be a joke writer, fine. But if you want to be a comedian and you want to have your own unique voice, you want to have your own thing, find your thing. Find your weird and embrace it. Don't be afraid. Bah! Number 9. Get as much stage time as you possibly can. This is so important. If you have an open night and there is an open mic, you need to be there. You need to be going anytime that you have a free moment to go do comedy. If this is what you want to do, then you need to be doing it. I don't know another way to phrase it. If you want to do stand-up comedy, go do stand-up comedy. Don't sit at home if there's a free night and other people are working. Because if you want to do comedy, it's a job. You need to show up, you need to do your thing. You just need to be there. Number 10, have fun. I know it's kind of after school specially, and it kind of, highlights a lot of the other things that I've said, but honest to God, why else are you doing this if you don't enjoy it? I love stand-up comedy. It is, I can't get enough of it. It's something that I think about every day. I miss it so much currently. Obviously, with the things being are as they are, I haven't had the opportunity to get on stage as much, and that's kind of where this channel all came from, was just my love of stand-up. I had to put it somewhere, and I put it into this channel to help other people do the thing that I wanted to do. Why? Because I love stand-up comedy. It's so much fun. I love it. It's what I want to do with the rest of my life. I absolutely love it so much, and I have a blast every time that I go. Yeah, it sucks if you do bad. It is a kick in the gut, But I would rather, to this day, no matter what, I would rather bomb on stage every day doing something that I love than go to work. Because it is a job for me, but it's a job that I love, and I would rather eat it on stage every single time than, you know, do anything else. So if maybe you don't have to be as into it as I am, but that's the type of person that's going to be at these mics. There's going to be people like me. There's going to be people who stand-up comedy is all they think about. I'm one of those people. So if you're not having fun, why are you there? I have a blast every time, even if I'm doing bad. Just have fun, for real. And I know it's hard to, you know, just choose to have fun, but really, go there with a good attitude and have fun. Open mics are an absolute blast. I've never had more fun in my life than an open mic. That's not true, but it's just every single open mic, there's something that happens. And even on a bad night where, you know, maybe I'm not in my best mood, a bad open mic to me is better than any good day at work. So just have fun, enjoy doing stand-up. All right, so that's 10 things that I think are extremely important as a comedian. They're not really tips or tricks. They're just things that I've found that have helped me as a comedian. They're things that I think are somewhat important. But if you think that I've missed anything that you think is important, or if you disagree with anything that I've said, let me know in the comments. We can have a discussion about it, and make sure that you are liking and subscribing this channel and ringing that bell so that you can keep up with other tips and tricks that I'm bringing as a stand-up comedian. And eventually, you know, maybe I'll post some links to shows and stuff like that when things are coming back up, and you can see me at work. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you like to see Mr. Matt Lamb doing funny stuff on stage? I bet you would. Everyone else does. I'm super funny. So, like I said, like and subscribe, ring that bell. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Matt with Open Mic Crowd and Me.